Warning, there is a good chance Bitcoin Mike has no idea what he's talking about. Do your own research. Enjoy the show. Thank you. All right, folks. Let's look at the markets. We're seeing a bit of misery today as Bitcoin back down to 17,400. Stocks are pretty much crashing because of the Fed news yesterday. If I can even find the article. I can't even find the article. Here we go. Dow tumbles 800 points as investigators fear the Fed is tipping in the economy. So we've seen this before. The stocks pump because we think the Fed is going to pivot. Then the stocks dump because people think the Fed isn't going to pivot. It just goes back and forth. So we've been here before. Good news is Bitcoin's still hanging out at 17,500. Really not even all that much lower than we were a couple days ago. Your altcoins are dumping pretty hard, but that's kind of what happens. So I want to start off today talking about Kevin O'Leary. I came out a couple days ago and I said, you know what? Kevin O'Leary is going through the 5 stages of grief, and he's in the denial stage. He believed in Sam Bankman-Fried. He even hung out with his parents, and he gave Sam Bankman-Fried lots of money to invest, and Kevin O'Leary was a paid spokesman. So Kevin O'Leary, when everything collapsed, just didn't want to believe that Sam Bankman-Fried could be that much of a fraudster. This is very common. I would go as far as to say Kevin O'Leary and SBF were friends. And I said a couple days ago, think if your friend got caught up in all this garbage, you'd probably not want to believe it, and you'd probably look for other people to blame. And that's what Kevin O'Leary is doing. Now, the one thing I respect about Kevin O'Leary is he's not going with the herd. He's basically going with his own opinion, even though everybody hates him right now. Everybody's calling him a scammer. Everybody's calling him crazy. And he's sticking with his guns. And I do think a lot of this is because he's in denial. I don't agree with it, by the way. I think Sam Bankman-Fried is one of the biggest Ponzi scammers in our history. But none of us had the relationship with Sam Bankman-Fried that Kevin O'Leary had. Remember, when FTX was collapsing, Kevin O'Leary was calling Sam Bankman-Fried. I mean, they were close. Now, maybe that makes Kevin O'Leary a sleazeball too, because they were both close. So maybe Kevin O'Leary is just as bad as Sam Bankman-Fried. I don't know. But what I respect about Kevin O'Leary is he's sticking to his guns. I never jump on the train. I always like to stick with the people who are doing the opposite of everybody else. When everybody goes one way, I like to go the other way. And it's pretty much worked out for me in my life. And that's the way I feel with Kevin O'Leary. If Kevin O'Leary wants to say right now, Binance caused all these problems, he's not going to come out and say anything about Sam Bankman-Fried until he's found guilty and all the evidence comes out. That's fine. Folks, that's fine. Kevin O'Leary has been honest. He said he took, $15 million to be a paid spokesman. He said he lost all the money, blah, 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 blah. He said he had personal contact with Sam Bankman-Fried. I mean, he's being transparent. I don't know what people want. Okay. Kevin O'Leary is saying something you disagree with, and that's it. But he's allowed to say something. He's allowed to have a different opinion as you, even if that opinion might be wrong. And maybe there'll be little nibbles of truth in what Kevin O'Leary is saying, and we'll find out in a couple years. I don't know. But Kevin O'Leary does look like a buffoon right now. Here's some clip from Crypto Banter. He's basically gone on the talk show circuit, trying to blame Binance for everything. Of course, Binance is the one who basically exposed FTX for being insolvent. And in Kevin O'Leary's mind, that's kind of like, well, they caused everything. Everything would be fine if it wasn't for Binance. And of course, that's absolutely crazy. But I don't think Binance is all that perfect either. I mean, look, we're talking about cryptocurrency exchanges. They're all sleazeballs. I've always said I think Binance is probably the best one, but they're all sleazeball exchanges. 99.9% of everything crypto related is shit and scam. I've seen it. I've been in here since 2017. I'm in this space to make money. I don't believe in it. I don't think Bitcoin's going to be around in 30 years. You can debate me in the comments. I think crypto is going to get regulated to all hell. And I think over 90% of everybody in crypto is a scammer. Just look at the YouTubers. Go down the list. All the big YouTubers in crypto are basically scammers. All the exchanges have had major problems in the past. Even Binance is under investigation by multiple governments. The only one I really trust is Coinbase because they have to be rigged. They have to play by the rules because they're based in the United States and they're basically being watched like hawks by the government. And that, unfortunately, is what keeps people honest. So if Kevin O'Leary wants to take the stand that, to say that FTX, was set up or crashed by Binance or whatever, that's fine. Maybe he's right. Maybe CZ Binance is a sleazeball gangster for all we know. But anyway, here's a little bit. Crypto Rand can always explain things better than me. And we also have some clips of Kevin O'Leary digging his own grave here.
FTX out of business. Now, lots of other reasons, I'm sure, but that's my personal opinion. That is what Sam Bankman-Fried told me in terms of where the assets went.
Kevin joins us now live. He is a...
So Melissa Lee then asks Kevin, she says, look, it wasn't like Binance was the one doing irregularities and taking money from FTX and putting money into Alameda. And Kevin O'Leary says the following. He says, where did this shit begin? The shit began when FTX was going out to the regulators to try and get licenses in all jurisdictions. And the regulators looked at the cap table of FTX and they said, hold on a second. Binance owns 20% of FTX. And if Binance owns 20% of FTX, we're not giving you the licenses unless you give us certain documentation and certain information. And his claim is that SBF said that CZ wouldn't give them the information that they required. And so they couldn't get licenses because Binance was on the cap table with them. So what did they do? They bought Binance out. Well, how much did they buy Binance out for? Let's listen to what he says. So let me actually take you there. How much did they actually pay to buy out Binance? This is where it gets a little bit interesting, and you can start seeing this narrative that Kevin O'Leary has started to drive. So let's listen a little bit.
Told me the first time I talked to him, I said, Sam, 24 months, where's the cash? Keep it simple. We don't have to get complicated here. I don't hear about the trading. Just where'd the cash go? Use of capital off the balance sheet. I'm a balance sheet cash flow guy. Walk me back. He said, I think I spent $2 billion buying back stock from CZ. I said, $2 billion? Day later, I'm starting to think about this. I call him back saying, look, I just got called to testify in hearings. I got to have the real information. I got to have the truth. Was it 2 billion? Yes or no? He said, maybe it was 3 billion. I said, 3 billion.
So his allegations are that SBF took 3 billion of customer funds, and he did this to buy out CZ and Binance because they wanted to get Binance off their cap table so that they could get more regulation. You can see now, this is with the part where he reveals his intentions. Okay, so let's listen. This is the part where he starts revealing his intentions.
He said maybe it was 3 billion.
Clearly have some choice words for Binance. It almost sounds like you think that was a great trade for Binance. I mean, short of the company going bankrupt, they made $3 billion, $2 billion, whatever Sam Bankman-Fried paid for that stake. They made that.
It was a brilliant move. But if you think after what happened today on the U.S. Senate floor is going to make it easy for Binance to get licensed anywhere on earth, I don't think so.
Right.
I don't think so.
So you see, this is the whole play here. He went to testify to try and make Binance look so bad because he knew that everybody was watching the testimony. And so he said it himself. He said, well, yeah, just let's listen to that part again because I think it's worth listening to again now that you have context.
They made that.
It was a brilliant move. But if you think after what happened today on the U.S. Senate floor is going to make it easy for Binance to get licensed anywhere on earth, I don't think so.
Right.
So you can see he's gone out there to make sure that Binance doesn't get any more licenses around the world. A lot of people are questioning Kevin's position because he's a paid spokesperson. He's getting paid $15 million, and it feels like he's overly loyal to SBF. And a lot of people are starting to ask a whole lot of questions, like Patrick Bet David.
At war with each other.
He's asking questions. Peter Schiff. Okay, Peter Schiff always asks questions. He never has the answers, though. Always has the questions. And Binance responds to this by saying, "Look, the best way to debunk the fight is just to get more licenses." And
Anyway, so yeah, I mean, Kevin O'Leary definitely looks like a douchebag, but he also looks like a douchebag who isn't trying to hide anything. He comes right out and says it. I'm a paid spokesperson for FTX. I'm friends with Sam Bankman-Fried. I met his mother. I met his father, or Sam Bankman-Fried's father. I had lunch with Sam Bankman-Fried. I had his personal phone number. I could call him whenever I wanted. So sure, we get it. Okay, your loyalty is to FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried. So why is this surprising that he's coming out against Binance? You know, of course, Binance didn't cause this problem. Binance didn't make Sam Bankman-Fried scam people and take people's money and commingle funds, but Binance did at least expose them. So you can understand why Kevin O'Leary is upset about that, because Kevin O'Leary lost a lot of money, and Kevin O'Leary is all about the money. He wants his money. So I think from a financial standpoint, Kevin O'Leary sticking by Sam Bankman-Fried, sticking by the FTX narrative is probably better for him in the long run to get his money back, even though he might look like a douchebag to everybody else. But unfortunately for Kevin O'Leary, I think his credibility is now kind of shot. I don't think he's going to have as much credibility as he used to. Maybe he won't be able to do Shark Tank anymore. Maybe people are going to laugh at him. So I also think, like I said, with the 5 stages of grief, you know, I think he's in denial as well. I think he said, look, I knew this guy. I just, I don't want to believe it. And if I can just hang on to this Binance narrative, which now you're seeing the anger phase. Because if you look at, first it was denial. He didn't want to believe it. Then Sam Bankman-Fried got arrested. Now it's anger. Look how angry he is. Oh, it's Binance's fault. You're blaming somebody else. Then you start the bargain. Then, like I said before, you'll probably see him go away for a little bit, and then he'll finally accept it. Maybe in like a year, you'll see Kevin O'Leary come out and say, hey, look, you know, it turned out Sam Bankman-Fried was a giant fuckwad. So, but folks, it's just human nature. And the one thing about investing, it's just all about human nature. And I think he's doing what most people would do who were close to the FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried and had a lot of money involved. What's his other alternative? Say Sam Bankman-Fried and everybody's a fraudster? Well, then in his mind, that cuts off any chance of him ever being able to talk to Sam Bankman-Fried again, find out what actually happened, get any of his money back. So I get what he's doing, even though he looks douchey doing it. He's also a really cocky guy. He's an arrogant guy, and he doesn't want to admit that he 100% invested in a scammer. You know, so I think we're kind of in that. But look, I respect anybody who takes the opposite stance as somebody, even though I don't agree with you. Like, I'm more of a conservative guy, but I love those hardcore liberals that have their point of view and they stick by it no matter what, because I just like people's personality like that. They're the people I like. I don't like wishy-washy people. And Kevin O'Leary is not a wishy-washy person. He's sticking by his guns under all this pressure. And most of you guys, including myself, would not be able to do what he's doing under that kind of pressure. Is he wrong? Probably. Does he look like a douchebag and is he losing credibility? Yes. But we'll see where the chips fall in a year. But I don't think Binance is all that great. I don't think CZ is all that great. These are fucking cryptocurrency exchange people. So, it's like they're the same type of people who own strip clubs, you know, in the casinos. They're all dirtier than a barrel of snakes. The question is, who's worse? Yeah, it looks like Sam Bankman-Fried's the worst. I would actually put CZ Binance higher up on the totem pole as an exchange I like. But would it surprise me if it comes out next week that CZ Binance has a closet full of skeletons that would make you your eyes pop out of your head? No, it wouldn't, because all these guys are sleazeballs. Anyway, so that's my Kevin O'Leary thoughts, and we'll see what happens out of that. I want to talk about XRP a little bit. You know, I made a video a couple of days ago. I said there's a lot of people talking about this XRP settlement on the 15th. I said it's not going to happen. I never jumped on that bandwagon because everything with XRP is completely bullshit. Now, unfortunately, Charles Hoskinson was the one pushing this rumor. And yes, I lost a little bit of respect for Charles Hoskinson. But he also came out and said, look, I'm probably going to look like I have some egg on my face. It looks like he probably got some wrong information. And Charles Hoskinson does these long fucking talks. And it looks like he blurted it out. So it's fine, Charles. We all make mistakes. But Charles, just remember, anything regarding XRP turns out to be bullshit. BitBoy's been talking about settlements for years with XRP. It's all bullshit. And unfortunately, off this XRP settlement news, XRP was pumped and dumped ad nauseum for the last couple weeks, and people made a lot of money. And all those scammy XRP YouTubers got a lot more views. So don't give those pieces of garbage XRP YouTubers any more ammo, because they're going to grasp at everything. But yeah, it doesn't look like there's a settlement. We never thought there was going to be. I didn't. And people who watch my channel who are smart knew there wasn't going to be one. And XRP will probably eventually be labeled a security, as will most cryptos, unfortunately. All right, let's see. Not too much more, folks. I mean, the market's dumping today. I want to talk one more a little bit about Cathie Wood. I told you yesterday, Coinbase is at all-time lows, GBTC at all-time lows, Tesla at all-time lows. If you can just look past the emotions, if you can just take a step back and see what the most logical thing to be doing right now with Coinbase at all-time lows, Tesla at lows, GBT at all-time lows. What is the smart money doing right now? Yes, Cathie Wood has had some bad calls over the last couple months, but we don't know at the end. In a couple of years, everything she's been doing will probably end up being a big win for her. She's a billionaire, so obviously she's done right in the past. She's living in a nicer house than you, okay? She's living in a nicer house than me. She's driving a nicer car than you, right? Let's listen to the smart money. And the smart money is buying these assets at their lows. Coinbase, Bitcoin, GBTC, Tesla. I'm not a big Tesla guy because I think Teslas are pieces of shit cars. I'm a big into like doing my own car work, and I read a lot of reviews on cars, and Teslas are unreliable pieces of garbage. Like they come out of the factory with all sorts of defects, and at about 50,000 miles, like they blow up on you. But for whatever reason, everything Elon Musk turns to gold. So Tesla's going to do just fine. Coinbase is going to be where everybody runs going into the next bull market because it's the safest exchange. And the GBTC premium will come back. If it doesn't, not financial advice, I could be wrong, but that's what I'm doing. But I'm not buying Tesla, I don't like it. But I do have some GBTC, and I have been buying Coinbase, and Coinbase is down 5% from where I bought it the other day, but I don't care. Because in a couple of years, I think Coinbase is going to be a 10x. Could be wrong, but I'm doing what the smart people are doing. I'm not taking advice anymore from the dummies, and the dummies are the people who I see on YouTube comments. They're dummies. People who text me telling me, crypto's dumping. They're all dummies. They don't know anything. Like I'm listening to the smart people now, and that's the one thing I learned last bull market, bear market, going into this bear market, bull market. I'm only listening to smart money, and the smart money is buying these assets right now. So that's pretty much it, folks. Thank you for the new subscribers. Like and subscribe. Thank you.